We're going to go through our webinar funnel training, and we're going to talk about two different types of webinars. Now, what is a webinar funnel? That really, at the end of the day, it is a funnel that just has some of the design with the intent to take someone to a webinar where they will register for that webinar, and then they will be able to view that webinar. And we give you two different options. One is a pre-recorded or an on-demand webinar, and the other is a live webinar. In this training, we're going to focus on how do I create an on-demand webinar. So we're going to click on new webinar funnel here in a second, but I want to go over each of the elements you're going to need. So you're going to need a registration form that you'll create from the form section, and you're going to need, for an on-demand webinar, you're going to need a video, a pre-recorded webinar that's on demand. And so that people can watch it anytime, because that's what on demand means. And so you're going to need that uploaded into the system, into your media storage area, so that it'll be easy to build this webinar. So we're going to click on new webinar funnel, and we're going to use on demand. We have two different options. We're going to use on demand in this training. We're going to click continue. From here, the system's going to ask us what are some of the information it's going to need to create this funnel for you. And so we're going to call this Social Connector Demo. We're just going to call it that, okay? Or let's get really creative. Let's call it Discover Social Connector. Okay, and then it's going to ask us for a form. And so we're going to use a form that we've created, our webinar registration form. And then it's going to want a video. So we're going to have to select a file. So I'm going to select the plus sign here. It's going to take me into my media storage, and we already have a video ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and use that video, our video example that we've done in another training. Okay, you could obviously add your video by uploading it, no problem. Then we're going to click the next, and it's going to give us four different types of templates. The blank, where we can start fresh, but that's not what we're going to do here. We're going to let it use this. The DIY home renovation template. Now remember, templates are just examples. We're going to update the content as we've learned to do through our website builder trainings. So we're going to go ahead and let's do, I kind of like this e-commerce with the image down here. So I'm going to choose this one, and we're going to click create. What the system's now doing is it's going to create all the pages needed for someone to register for and view that on-demand webinar. So you'll see there's three different pages, and this is done in website style. It's not done in funnel style. And so remember, funnels are in steps. Websites are in pages, but they all work very similarly. So this will be the first page here is going to be our home page. And so we're going to go ahead and let's just go ahead and take a look at it here. So I'm going to actually open it up as a preview. And without doing anything at all, you'll see here's some of the information it's got. It's got this webinar button over here, and it's got all these different things here. Again, we don't know what these things mean because it's just a template that's been created. And there's our form that we added, register now. All right, so that's what it looks like. But how do we edit this? We're going to go into the edit and just get a look and feel of what's actually been created here. So this is our webinar registration page, and this is what we're actually looking for. And so we're going to click save, and let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that are here. So you can see at the top, we've got a section here. We don't know what add to our account means, so we could change this. Maybe get rid of it. We don't really need it. This is where you have all the say. This is where you come in and you make everything's built for your webinar to work. Now you come in and you make the adjustments, right? So we got an image here, so we'd want to replace it. This is a headline here that's going to talk about what it is that we're doing in this webinar. Maybe this is about the host, right? So this is your image is going to go here, and then you're going to you see us explore the host expertise. So when we see that, we go, okay, well, this is going to open a pop-up. So let's look and see if they've given us a pop-up here. They haven't. So we'd have to create that, or maybe we just delete it. We're like, we're not going to go into this huge detail. So we'll just delete this. And then it's got, here's the three things you're going to learn on this webinar that you're going to be a part of. And then here's the button, and we're gonna have this button take us to the top, or maybe open the pop-up, but maybe we just have it scroll to the top, and we're gonna have it scroll to our form. So we just scroll back up to the top here. We look for our form that's there. Okay, there's our form. Boom, just like that. So it's gonna, when they say, "Hey, I'm ready to start my journey," great, take me up to the top. And now I can register. And then we click on the register and we want it to go to a website URL. So we'd have to go to the next page basically. And we would tell it that when they fill out this form, because we're using a website approach, we have to know what that website is. Very easy to do by just going to the next page. So we'll click save. And now let's say we've edited this. Let's go to our next page of our webinar, which is the confirmation. So we come in here, we'll let it up, and here it is. Thanks for watching. And then when they're ready to watch, they just click this button and it's going to take us, and again, go to page, webinar broadcast. So we're going to save this, and now this button, when you give them all the special information they want, maybe you've got a bonus here, all those things, totally great. You do all that, and then it's going to take them to the webinar broadcast page. So get to the webinar broadcast page, check this out. It's going to be your video that you've already given. So when I go to view this now as a preview, there it is, that weird video that I put in from a long time ago. That is huge. It dropped because I did it in vertical, but here it is, the video. It's ready to show. And obviously because I made it a big video and it's vertical, that's what it's filling. But you can do any video that you need to do. And you can even set some of your parameters here if you want to and change all the things. We've already learned about how to add videos. You can update your footers. You can update your headers. So this is a quick and dirty way to create an on-demand webinar. So if you've got something you want to invite people to that they can watch at any time, boom, this is how you do it. It's really that simple. We don't want to get too complicated with it. But because it's so simple, we have time to show you how to do a live stream webinar or a live webinar. So let's go ahead and let's come back. We're going to leave this webinar here so you see it. We're going to go back and we're going to create a new one. So we're going to click create a new webinar funnel from the top right. And this time we're going to go live webinar. Let's see what changes here. Okay, what's the name? So the name is going to be My Amazing Social Connector. Just so we have something different. It's going to happen in our, let's just say New York, that's fine. And it's going to happen, it's live, so it's only going to happen once, right? So it's going to happen on the 14th at, let's just say at noon on the 14th at noon. Okay, so we'll click OK. And this is going to be in the 24-hour time clock, so 12. If I wanted to make it at 1 o'clock, I'd have to make it 13, so on and so forth, okay? So do that again, 14th. And we're going to do it at noon, just like that. Click OK, click confirm, and now we've got our time. Click next. We're going to use the exact same form. Click next, next. Now, here's the difference. The difference in this funnel versus an on-demand funnel is currently Social Connector doesn't have a way for you to stream inside of the platform. Okay, now we can show you some little tricks, but if you're using a system such as StreamYard, StreamYard has on-demand webinars or they have live webinars. So let's just create a fake one here. Fake webinar. And it's going to be, we're going to do it live, right? And so we're going to put that in here and say it's going to be on, what did we say? The 14th. And because I'm on Pacific time, it's going to be at 9 a.m. Pacific because that's 12 p.m. Eastern. And this is a demo. And we don't need to do registrations here. So we're going to click create. Okay. We've got our fake webinar down here now. I'm just going to click continue. There it is right there. And here's where we can get our link. So we're going to click copy. Now I've got a link. Now again, you'll need to use a program like StreamYard or a program like Restream. There's a couple other ones. I use StreamYard, but there's a couple other ones. So we're going to come back in here and we're going to paste that link. So there's our link. We're going to click next. Let's choose a different template. Remember, these templates are just templates. That's what they are. So we're going to choose this template here. Create it. Give it a second. And if you feel like I'm going fast, just remember, we've already done lots of training on how to build out use the site builder to update and edit items. So now here we go. So we have, if we come into edit here, we're going to load that page. There it is, all these things, right? Here's the speakers that are going to be there, all the information, everything's ready to go. And there's our form to register right here. So you would edit all this information, and then we'll go to the second page, the confirmation. Notice this is very similar, confirmation. Now let's look at what it says for watching the webinar here. Okay, so it could go to our actual webinar broadcast, okay? And then we're going to go to our broadcast page. And here it is. Now, if you're using StreamYard, all this stuff is great. What you would normally do is you'd put a video here. Okay, you'd put a video here. And it's a template. So you would change this and you might say something like watch now. So when the time hits, watch now or live now. And instead, we'd go to a website URL and you would paste it right here. Okay, you'd paste it right there. Or what you can do, because we've shown you this before, you can actually come in here, get rid of all of this. I'm going to show you a little trick if you're using StreamYard. Okay, so we come in here, we get rid of this, we get rid of this. We can leave this. They've already registered, so we're on the broadcast page. So we can delete that. We can delete that, but we can add a new element. And again, the template doesn't have this, so I'm just showing you how to do it. You'd add a new element, and we're going to add the element of code. I'm going to show you why. I'm going to add this element of code right there. Okay. And we're going to click on this element here. We're going to click on Open Code Editor. Okay. Now I'm going to come back into StreamYard. I'm going to show you that we have an embed option here. Okay. And we're going to choose responsive size. Okay. And I'm going to click copy. I'm going to come back in to Social Connector and I'm going to paste that code right there. Now I'm going to do a little trick here. This is just me. So I'm going to change. No, I'm not. I'm just going to leave it for you because we don't need to be confusing. So we're going to click save. Now I'm going to click save here. Remember, this is our broadcast page. And because I'm using StreamYard and it has an embed feature, when I click to preview this screen now, give it a second to load. Look at this, live air streaming begins. Boom. This is now your broadcast page. This is it. And it'll work right here when it goes live. It's going to work. It's going to work perfectly. And so this is how you can create an on-demand webinar. And again, remember, this really isn't anything more than just a website that's got a template that's helped design to make it a little easier for you. But by using a tool like StreamYard or Restream, which are the two that I really like, using one of those tools, you're able to embed your live webinars directly. This is also great if you're doing trainings because StreamYard allows you to embed the chat. Everything will sit right here. So all that being said, now you have the skills and tools you need if you want to do an on-demand webinar. This will get you started and you can actually begin to build it out for your